I want to speak directly to the experienced meditator here who feels like doubt and overwhelm plays a big part in their path and feels like a significant hindrance for them. Where essentially you feel like, say you have some moment of clarity. You go on a retreat, you do, 10-day meditation retreat, or, you've been meditating earnestly for an hour a day. But then you have these moments where you have this beautiful open clarity, but it's then followed by moments of contraction where you feel like the whole world's caving in on you. You're doing the practice wrong. You feel helpless. You know it's all to do with your mind, but you just don't know where to look. And the storm of your mind is saying things like, I can't do it. I'm doing the practice wrong. This is too much. I'm a failure. I can't do it. I can't show up today in my life. I can't go to work. I'm a fraud. I'm an imposter. And we're just getting absolutely punished by repressed emotions, and we're completely caught in the storm. So I want to speak directly to that person and give you something very practical to take away with right now, if that is something that is coming up for you or has come up for you, or maybe in the future. Maybe you're feeling very open right now, but I feel like this could be very helpful as I speak from direct experience to which that happened to me this morning. Although I'm just getting much better at seeing what's actually going on and working with it directly, taking the bull by the horns, going right into that doubt, that shame, that fraudulentness, and confronting it directly and integrating it into the body and seeing it for what it is. So for me, when that happens, often it's coupled with a sense of contraction. So like maybe I'm feeling, if I were to put labels on it, I'd be feeling like sadness, anxiousness, frustration, and shame and doubt, all in this big soup. And then any attempt to sort of meditate my way out of it, or if I go to sit for meditation or something like that, I'm met with doubts and things like, I'll sit with the emotion, then it's like, should I do this practice? Or should I observe it this way? Or should I do it like this? And the mind really believes it, and you feel it in the body as well. It's like, I can't do it. Oh God, like, okay, I'm going to sit and I'm going to watch my thoughts for a little bit. But if I keep watching the thoughts, I've got to be in my body, right? I've got to be in the body. It's too uncomfortable to be just watching thoughts. Okay, I'm in the body, but this won't get me awakening. This isn't de-identifying from thought enough. I'm believing the narrative. Okay, that's a thought. Okay, but now I'm back in the body. And it's this sort of like crazy shit show of the mind where you're met with all of these practice-based doubts and thoughts of that nature. So it's like, what the hell do we do in that situation? Which can feel like a bit of a crucible of suffering, coupled with helplessness. So the first thing to do, I think, is just to give yourself permission to make room for this thought storm of what's coming up and what's arising. And that's critical. You can just hear these little bits of tidbit advice and like little bits of feedback and advice, and that you'll hear things like, okay, just create space. But your mind is so caught up in the helplessness that it sort of overlooks the simple things, and it's like, oh, I'm more advanced than that. I got to jump right into the beef of it. But anyway, just give yourself permission to like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of space when this is happening. And your mind won't want to do this. It's going to be like, no, even if I do that, I'm not going to get anywhere. And you'll probably have a tendency to distract yourself and want to watch like YouTube or clips on TikTok or anything like that. But you have to really just be like kind of relentless a little bit in my experience, just to be like, all right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to see with a curiosity, like, what is this? What is happening here? What is going on with my mind? Because ultimately acceptance is only going to happen now, right? But often what we do and the cultural norm to do is basically to bypass and distract ourselves by filling that discomfort with like a TV show or, even meditation in a way, or reading a book or whatever our distraction. Choose your character of distraction. Mine was video games for a long time, playing PUBG. You know, I was like a big gamer. So once you've given yourself that space, what we're going to do is dilate the mind out. It's almost like when we're in that, we're like so tunnel vision and like focused on this super specific part, the super specific part of our experience, which is like, I'm not enough, I can't do it, I can't do it. You can feel it's very focal. It's like really right into the thick of it. But if you dilate, you're like casting out the net and just capture everything that's in your experience. So like, oh, I'm feeling a bit restless. There's a bit of shame here. There's a bit of doubt. There's a bit of, I can't do this. There's a lot of discomfort. And but you're just bringing this loving curiosity to it. Like, oh, can I be with this? Even for like 3 seconds, you know, like, or 4 or 5 seconds. Can I just capture everything and just see every part of this experience? So we're just slowing right down. We're not jumping to a distraction. We're slowing right the hell down and we're going right into it. And just seeing everything. And it helps, I think, to capture. Make sure you spend a bit of time here capturing everything. Like, okay, there's shame, there's doubt, there's a bit of like squiggliness up here. And it helps to feel the body and connect words to the body here. So if you feel a sensation in your face and it's like a tightness in your jaw and it's saying like, I just want to get out of this. And you sort of connect it to the body and it's like, I just want to get out of this. I don't want to feel this. And you feel it. It's like a lock and key mechanism. It's like, yep, that's the word. That's what I'm feeling. So we're capturing everything. And already, as soon as you do that, if you take 5, 10 minutes to do that, if you capture everything, that sometimes is enough. You just basically give a voice to everything in your experience. And then that, what it often does for me is it just releases and opens things up, because you're not really like operating on the surface level of mind anymore. You've acknowledged all of the like turbulence underneath, all of the resistance and everything that's playing there. So recap. So we've made space. We've intentionally said, okay, I'm not going to distract myself. 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to be with it. And then we've captured everything. We've captured everything in our experience and we're just seeing what's happening. Now, specifically what I wanted to make this video about was like relating it to doubt, and more specifically the practice-based thoughts that just want to get it right. They want to pick the right thing, right? So for me, that looks like this. It's like, I already described it. You have conflicting agendas within your mind. It's almost like one part of you says, you know, I should practice this way. And then another part of you comes in, I should practice this way. But let's go right into that right now. So this is going to be very experiential. So if you're not feeling this, if you're not feeling that doubt and turbulence, then that's okay. I think this will still be valuable. But what we're going to do is go right into it. If you're feeling it right now, let this be very experiential, almost like a guided meditation. And we're going to engage the shadow, right? And if you're a long-time meditator, that might be confronting. You don't want to look at your story, the story of who you are, but let's do it. Like, what's at risk if I do that? And that's a good place to start, is if you feel doubt about engaging the story of like engaging shadow work, where do you feel that in your body? Look for it right now. It's like, if I engage the story of Sam, if I get lost in thought thinking about my childhood trauma or anything like that, what's at risk? And feel that in your body. Oh, okay. If you like literally intone that right now, if I start meditating and engaging the story of shadow work, but I'm a meditator, I can't do that. And then where do you feel that? Maybe it's in the shoulders, the back of the neck. Okay, and then just be with that discord. And it might be pulling you in and out, but just keep coming back to it. And you may need to re-intone it. You may need to say, I'm allowed to engage this story. Using a reverse inquiry. I can engage the story. And then feel in your body. It's like you're poking the bear of like seeing where your mind throws up resistance. And then dynamically, you have to sort of feel that emotion at the same time. So keep 50% of your attention in it, and then you can chuck in, what is this trying to do for me? What is this feeling of, I can't do it. I can't engage the story. What is that trying to do for me right now? And listen, let your intuition give you an answer. Don't make it intellectual. Don't like say, oh, I'm trying to do this to get awakening and it's all up here. Listen to the body. Let the body speak. Let the words come to you. Almost like you're letting that part of you that doesn't want to do the shadow work actually do the shadow work, like let it speak. That is critical. If you don't do that, then it's an intellectual game that you're not getting anywhere with. It has to be in the body. So, okay. It might say something like, I don't want to do it wrong. If I change technique, I'm going to fail. It's not going to work. I'm not going to wake up. If I do this practice, as opposed to this practice, I'm a bad meditator and I'm doing it wrong and I'm going to feel helpless. Okay. Now I can let that be there. Thank you. Thank you for protecting me. But let's chuck in another question now. But what are you trying to do? What are you trying to get for me? I'm a bad meditator. I can't do this. Whatever it is, whatever came up for you, work with your own intuition and what comes up for you. What are you trying to get me? Oh, okay. You're listening to the body again. I just want ease. I just want to get the right technique so that I can feel ease. Because I feel so turbulent right now. Okay, ease, as an example. And I'm going to go down a little bit of a customized rabbit hole here as an example, but I want to show you that anything can be worked with. So I want ease, okay. And what would ease get me? Having ease in my experience. Oh man. Having ease would finally allow me to feel okay within myself, to go out into the world, to work, to be validated by others, to be okay, to be at ease, to not constantly be suffering, right? So listening all these things, listening to the body as this is happening. And then all the while, you might have little peripheral impulses of things like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be engaging this story coming up on the side. You might feel it in your body, but it's just following this down and trusting it. And you can come back to those other parts of you that are still denying this investigation into the shadow. You can come back to them as well. So let's continue with the example. I just want to feel ease so I can show up in the workplace, show up in the world, show up with people. Wow, okay, I can see that. Thank you. Thank you. Now, what would that get me? What would showing up in the workplace get me? Oh, it would get me status. I would be liked by other people. I would be loved by other people. And what do I need love for? Oh, I need love so I can feel safe. I just want to feel safe. I just want people to love me so that I can feel safe. Wherever I go, so I'm valuable, so I can contribute. Right. I see you. Thank you. And what would safety get me? Oh, I wouldn't die. Can you see? And then from this point, the mind, if you're really still turbulent, maybe you went all the way down to the root, but maybe the mind still the body mind is still feeling doubts, it's still feeling like, oh man, that was cool and all, but I'm still not doing it right, and you've got this peripheral background hum, right? So take that as the new object. Creating space. What am I doubting here? Why can't I do this? What is that background hum of doubt saying to you? Oh, that was good, but I still feel like, I read this book and this teacher said that I shouldn't engage a story and I need to de-identify from thought. And now I'm feeling that doubt again. And oh God, there it is. Feel it full on. And do the same process. Take it all the way down to the root. Can you see how everything is an object of inquiry? And I truly believe that mind identification arises and it's not separate from the body. So we like to think that it's only thoughts that co-opt us and co-opt our ego into a sense of self and a sense of separation, but it's also the body. Because as we just saw very experientially, and maybe and hopefully you did do this in your experience, separation arises in the body with these literal commands that say like, I'm not doing it right, I'm not enough. And then, so the body is feeling separation. But we just overlook it when we don't actually go right into the shadow. And the doubts can say things like, I have to only do it one way, this is overcomplicating things. But then again, that just becomes the next object. There's no separation between the body and the mind. That's why people have coined the term bodymind. People like Gabor Mate. People like Angelo DeLullo. Bodymind. They're not separate. But we have all these practice-based doubts that we accrue over time from not trusting our own bodies and our own instincts. So we lean on the crutch of teachers who tell us that this is the only way to wake up. This is the only way we need to do a practice. And if you do it any other way, you're deluding yourself. And then I think from that place, when we're not so caught in the turbulent nature of our mind, it's clear to see that it's all just this. There can be nothing else other than this, because we're not caught up in, I got to get out of this, I've got to get out of this, what's the right practice, what's the right practice? It's like, whoa, let's slow down, let's bring it in. Let's see everything. What is it trying to do? And then, in my experience, what this brings out is an appreciation that it really is all just this. We're not going anywhere separate from what is right now. And we trust ourselves to know when we need to do the shadow work or when we need to let go. Very experiential today. I wanted to share that with you because I know how frustrating and tricky that can be despite years of meditation. So yeah, I'm going to go get a haircut now. Much love to you. Have a great day. Let me know if this helps in the comments, and of course leave a like as well if it was helpful so more people can see it. Thank you.